If a tenant's lease allows sublets or assignments, is there any real difference? The 2004 Arkansas case of Abernathy versus Adous explores this question in the context of a commercial gas station lease. In 1992, Griffith Petroleum leased an Arkansas gas station and convenience store property from owners William and Anne Abernathy for a term of 10 years. Monthly rent was to be paid in part to the Abernathys lender and in part to the Abernathys. The lease didn't prohibit assignments or subleases, and it stated that Griffith would be in default if it became insolvent or failed to pay rent. In 1996, Griffith executed a sublease agreement with a subtenant. The sublease was for the remainder of the 10-year term and for the same rent amount. The sublessee was to make payments to Griffith, which would pay the Abernathys and their lender. Another subtenant, Abdulazize Adous, was added later with a document entitled Addendum to Sublease Agreement. Adous ultimately became the only subtenant. For years, Adous paid monthly rent to Griffith, and Griffith paid the Abernathys and their lender directly. In 2001, however, Griffith stopped consistently paying the rent. Adous attempted to pay the Abernathys directly, but they refused to accept his payment. In May, Adous sought a court order either directing the Abernathys to accept his payments or Griffith to accept them and pay the Abernathys and their lender. The Abernathys noticed Griffith and Adous that they were terminating the lease for non-payment of rent, and because they later learned Griffith was insolvent. Notwithstanding this, and the Abernathys' demand that the property be surrendered, Adous stayed and paid his monthly rent to the court until trial. At trial, the court determined that terminating Adous's sublease was inequitable and declared him an assignee entitled to lessee status under the original lease. The Abernathys appealed, contending that the trial court erred and Adous was a sublessee, not an assignee. They asserted that Adous's rights were derived from Griffith's, and that Adous was required to surrender possession when they terminated the lease.